Hey Thunderbolts, it's me, Static The Hedgehog here. Today on Friday, I read the next history of the SATAM Characters. And forgive me that I read not quite well because words can be difficult sometimes. But anyway, that is all for now and let us begin. So, the next character today is the King. In the past, the king ruled the city of Mobotropolis, which became entangled in the Great War. Eventually, the kingdom of Mobotropolis emerged victory thanks to the aid of the head of war ministry Julian. On the 3rd in the year 2224, after the end of the Great War, the king praised Julian for his heroic victory and invited him to a banquet with others and dignitaries of the kingdom. He also announced that he will close the war ministry and make Julian the Ministry of Science. At the end, also he approved Julian's plans to disband the military. The same day, however, Julian assumed the name of Dr. Robotnik and take over Mobotropolis. The king was subsequently dethroned and banished to the void. Thought he had been banished, however, the king's daughter Sally managed to escape to the Noko village. Sally had also revived a handheld named Nico. Thus Nico had the knowledge on all the questions Sally would ask. The king had implanted a special time locks into Nico that were supposed to keep Sally from accessing certain files until she came of age. One such file included information about the deep power stones, whose information was recorded by the king personally. Several years later, Nicole picked up a transmission from Idle Lock prison in the dark swamp that allegedly came from the king. As it turned out later, the broadcast came from a computer in Idle Lock that held a map of the underground tunnel under Robotropolis. The king's history was slightly altered when Sonic and Sally went back in time with time stone to stop Dr. Robotnik before he rose to power. In the past, after the king had dismissed Julian, Sir Charles Hedgehog asked him for an audience. All thought he heard from him that Julian was plotting against him. He did not believe Charles' story at first. However, he then met the Sonic and Sally from the future, and he recognized his daughter after taking notice of her appearance, her royal signet ring, and her familiarity with the family creed. Just as the king started with belief their warning, however, Dr. Robotic forces surrounded the palace and all who were inside. The king was subsequently dethroned and captured, but Sonic and Sally managed to escape. Later, the king was exiled to the void by Robotnik like an original timeline. Approximately 11 years after his imprisonment in the void, Negus took the form of a sick king so that Sonic, who had arrived in the void with Sally and Bonnie, would free him from the void. After Sonic saved the false king, the real king arrived with Ari and greeted Sally, who threw herself into his arms. Later, Sonic saved the king, Sally, Bonnie, and Ari from the void. The king was free again, but not for long. It turned out that his body had begun to crystallize due to him having been too long in the void, and the only way he could save himself from becoming a lifeless crystal statue was to return to the void with Negus. Knowing that he had to leave, the king told Sally to take the list of all the freedom fighters groups from his pocket. After she is done so, the king said goodbye to his daughter and returned to the void with Negus. The king is a vermin monarch who is guided by the strong sense of honor when governing his kingdom. A kind ruler and loving father. He is very concerned about his subjects, especially about his daughter and Princess Sally. Loyal to both duties and his people, he swore that he will stop Robotnik and even thought he was banished to the void. He tried to do everything in his power to support the freedom fighters. The king is capable monarch and leader, able to plan for 4 years events ahead of time. So that is all for now. I hope you all enjoyed the history of the characters that you learn about. And for the next time on Friday, I read the next character history. So have a nice day and enjoy your day. Laterzzz Thunderbolts. Bye.